Now, as I just mentioned, when you're thinking of your next vacation, heading out to a farm might not be the first on your list, but Travel Manitoba hopes to change that. The federal government is putting $250,000 toward creating a new agritourism corridor between Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Jackie Tenuta is Travel Manitoba's Vice President of Destination Management, and she joins us live in studio. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you with this announcement?
Oh, we're very excited about this announcement. It's something that we have behind the scenes been really interested in, have identified as a priority, and really see it as such a great opportunity.
So in broad strokes, what's the vision for an agritourism corridor? What does that look like?
Well, there's definitely a lot of work to do, and part of what this involves is the development of a strategy, which will include defining that vision, as well as development of an implementation plan, and an investment plan will also be part of that as well.
And we know Manitoba has lots of agriculture.
You bet.
So why is Manitoba a good place to offer agritourism? How do those work together?
Well, we have such a strong agriculture base, as you're saying. We have a lot of expertise here. We have a very strong, robust industry, and it just makes a lot of sense for us to capitalize on those assets and build upon them. We also have great tourism assets here. There's already some existing agritourism operators in the area. We want to build them up. We want to identify new opportunities for them. And so there's definitely a lot of room to grow.
What does that look like in terms of maybe what exists now in Manitoba, as you're mentioning, or in other countries that do agritourism? What are some examples if folks are having a hard time kind of picturing what agritourism is?
Well, I think we have some work to do on like how broad of a scope this is. So certainly there's kind of the leisure travel component, which is, what you described, visiting a farm. Could also be a culinary experience where a restaurant is sourcing a lot of their ingredients locally or growing a lot of their ingredients. It could be something like that. It could be a festival where you're getting to sample and reflect upon the harvest of that area. It could be a farmer's market. Could be something like that. The other piece of it is more the technical side of it. And so, as you may be aware, there's already lots of people that come to our province to go to various ag events that are part of the industry or have an interest in the industry. And so there's that component to it as well. How can we kind of enhance those visits that are already taking place from that technical side?
Do you see this as an opportunity to maybe open up Manitoba and certain areas that are very agricultural based to tourism that haven't really been looked at as tourist destinations before?
Absolutely. So we certainly see this as a really big opportunity for some rural areas, for them to see increased visitation, for them to expand on, some of those, existing economic drivers that are already there, but really expand on that and give them other opportunities. So absolutely, that's part of it.
So what kind of tourists do you hope to attract with this program? Are you thinking staycationers or bringing people from outside of Manitoba?
I think there's opportunities for both. I think certainly getting people to travel more around the region is going to be a big part of this, getting Winnipeggers to look outside of the city to see what there is to offer, get them to travel a little further, get them to spend the night somewhere. But I also think there's an opportunity for what we call the fly drive market. So people flying in, spending a few days and traveling around or, moving on through the corridor to another destination. So moving on into Saskatchewan to, experience what that province also has to offer for agritourism.
You talked about the culinary side of things just a little bit. What sort of opportunities would be there for restaurant owners and even producers?
Well, I think there's kind of, we're not going to know until we kind of go through this whole process, but there's a few different sides to this that we see. One is like really expanding on the development of the industry, but then there's going to be a marketing component to this as well. So drawing more attention to those culinary operators that already exist out there. So there's going to be that piece of it as well, just a heightened awareness. There may be supports that come to light to help some of these businesses grow and develop. We also see potentially, and we haven't done any of the consultations on this yet, but we do actually potentially see some opportunities for Indigenous tourism. There are already, as you may be aware, a number of restaurants in the city and in other parts of the province that are Indigenous owned and are focused on, ingredients that come, from the land. And so I think there's a great opportunity there as well, not just for culinary, but for other things also.
And I can't imagine that this conversation is happening without talking about the economic benefit this brings to Manitoba for agricultural tourism. What do you think this could offer smaller communities in our province?
Yeah, definitely. I would see it as a big opportunity for smaller communities that already have agriculture as a big part of their industry, which is, a lot of communities in Manitoba. So definitely, that chance to, take what they already have and make it something, bigger and better and draw those visitors to that region.
Have you been in conversation with, is there a Tourism Saskatchewan? Does that exist?
Yes, yeah. They're
amazing.
Absolutely.
What are you hearing from them?
Yeah, so we're partnered with them on this. We actually worked jointly with them to submit this proposal into Destination Canada. And we've worked with them a bit already. They're very collaborative and we work well with them. So that is part of what is going to really make this work. And we have already connected with a few of the key communities along the corridor and some of the key associations that would be involved in this as well. And they're very much in support. And so the next step now is to kind of broaden that and reach out to more folks and see who else wants to be part of this initiative.
Well, Jackie, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm excited to see how this corridor plays out and what it looks like in the future.
Well, thank you very much for having me here today. Thank you.
Jackie Tenuta is Travel Manitoba's Vice President of Destination Management.
Thank you for watching the CBC Manitoba YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For the latest breaking news and top stories, download the CBC News app.